Alright, Conrail, the book, car inspection and repair, general information. Alright, pencil, transportation system instruction for the inspection of carting cars for the commonly load, classifying cars for the highest possible grade for gondola cars, if underframe supports for the draft gears, couplers, brake safety appliances are in safe, suitable condition. 3. 4. In general conditions, one of the following, sides or no sides are opening, B. Small holes opening, large holes opening. C. D. No holes opening. F. Medium to large holes. And U. Poor, unfit, and X. Special equipment. N. Intact, no holes. B. Intact, small holes. C. Intact, large holes. D. Intact, no holes. F. Intact, medium to large holes. G. End-to-end missing, poor, floor lining, X. Special equipment. X. Floor, steel good, no holes. A. B. Steel, small holes. C. Steel large holes. D. Wood and good. F. Wood and fair. And U. Poor for loading. And X. Special equipment. General service boxcars classifying highest possible grade. If an underframe superstructure, draft gears, couplers, bed, and safety appliances are in safe, suitable condition, and if the general condition is one of the below. Alright, the roof is A, watertight, B is watertight, C is watertight, D is leaks, E is watertight, U is leaks and poor, X is special equipment. Floor A, smooth, has no splinters, has no leaks, and for odor, oil, spots, contamination, has a protruding nail straps, etc. B, won't leak, grain, no odors, oil, spots, contamination, has no fronting nails, straps, etc. C, in place, has no protruding nails or straps. Also, D will hold coal in rough freight. E is smooth, has no splinters, no leaks or odors, oil spots, contamination, has no protruding nails, straps, etc. Is wood. H has a handle for RS 136. U is poor, special is equipment. Lining. A are smooth and have no splinters, no protruding nails, straps, etc. Watertight. B have no splinters, no protruding nails, etc. Straps, etc. Watertight. C no protruding nails, etc. Are watertight. D is poor. E are smooth, have no splinters, no protruding nails, straps, etc. Watertight. U is poor, and X is special equipment. Alright, special instructions. D. Rough rate casting drums. E. Explosive ammunition grade A. Loading. H. Handling per RS 136. U. Not good for loading system cars, stores with a handle by system orders, foreign car, home shop, X special equipment. Alright, car type 50-foot plain box, 15% of an hour, 5.04 total period, pure deem values, 50-foot plain box 35 11 52, 40 x 12 4 56, FX 50-foot XF 56.56 21.36, tactical short line XM 50-foot box 50.50.24. Alright, let's go through this. Per deem values continue to rise if you wanted more of the alright, it shows the capacity load limit, lightweight, newer company month or year. Lightweight. A definition of lightweight: scale weight of the car nearest to 100 pounds, nearest to the 50 kilograms of metric, and scale weight indicate with the even 50 pounds of the tower, multiple units of the car is sensible to single unit for the measurement of pounds. For example, the car is to be sensible in dual units measurement pounds and kilograms. Exceed example 3. Example 2. Example scales and stencil weights for the single units of the measurement. Scale weight of the pounds even to 50 pounds. 33,350 pounds. Stencil weight in pounds lower, multiple of 100 pounds. 33,300. Scale weight in pounds, stencil weight in pounds, nearest to the 100. Scale weight in pounds, 33,351. Scale weight in pounds, 33,400 is nearest 100 pounds. Example: the scale, stencil weight, dual units of the measurement, and weight in pounds multiplied by the factor of 0.4536. The scale weight in pounds, even 50 pounds, 33,350 pounds. Scale weight in pounds, or multiple of the 100, 33,300 pounds. Scale weight in kilograms, 15,100. Essential weight and multiplied by 0.4536, rounded to the nearest 50 kilograms. Scale and weight in pound, 33,351 pounds. Scale and weight in pound, 33,400, the nearest 100. Scale and weight in kilograms, 15,150. Let's read the lightweight freight car definitions. Capacity: normal load with the pounds, gallons for the car that's designed to carry. Load limit: the maximum weight of the load. Difference between the stencil light weight of the car and the maximum gross weight of the rails. Light weight: the total weight of the empty car, including the trucks and all appurtenances considered part of the car. Example: rear gondola equipped with a 4-pair 11-inch wheels. Total with the weight of the rail permitted at 220,000 pounds. Cars weighted limited to 57,000 pounds. Subtract weight with 50,000 pounds from the capacity of 220,000 pounds. Answer is 163,000 pounds. In order to obtain the kilograms, multiply the factor by 0.4536 and lightweight 57,000 pounds. Lightweight 50, when obtaining the weight of the kilograms, stencil the weight is rounded to the nearest 50 kilograms, thus the 25,855 kilograms to 25,850 kilograms. Alright, status code for the CD5 and CD5D. Status explanation: K, railroad hold. L, patron hold. M, MTY hold. O, class 4 shops stored. P, railroad reclaim. Q, hold for assignment. R, hold for modification. S, consecutive displacement. V, delivered to the patron. X, Conrail. 1, class 4 awaiting material. 2, class 4 awaiting transfer to landing. 3, class 4 awaiting load up car. 8, no bill. 9, no transportation reporting. Note: the above codes will be displayed under the SC column on the CD5 and CD5D only. Alright, then it gives a caboose listing from January 1st, 1980, with the Conrail numbers. Interesting facts about Conrail cabooses. Conrails are a total of 2,086 cabooses in ownership. A total of 1,122 are assigned with a pool service, while 964 are assigned to yard service. Average of 13% of the caboose fleet is bad order daily. By the end of the 1980s, the end of all of the PC While the PC initials will be re-stenciled CR. Presently, the installed 2 high intensive marking lights of 12V cabooses, one each for the end of the right corner. In the event of the light bulb burns out, the extra bulb that is located with the fixture can be replaced easily by removing the head shield. The 6V caboose will be equipped with a portable high intense light. Presently, the cost of the caboose, new cost of caboose, is $65,000. Caboose with reassemble the blocks of the flat car are called the transfer caboose. The class 5 with the N9 and 11 in the near future with the thermostatically controlled carburetors, which will be installed with a stove of 300 cabooses. As different with the fire damage, they have been proven successful in Canada. Microforce water drains valve that are installed with the water system when the temperature reaches 39 degrees above the zero. Air operated with microfor water drain automatically drains water, raising 1.75 gallons per minute, improvement over the present Ogon's value. Alright, this shows the Conrail locomotive fleet. Page Our electric motive has prepared several production application build bulletins to assist with the cutting of locomotive fuel consumption. For the first installment appeared with the October 1973 issue. Page 15 showed graphically with the effects of the lower operating speeds would be owned by reducing fuel consumption. The electric motive diesel has been properly prepared by the tables A and B to show the reduction of fuel that can be achieved with the slowing of the speeding with a several consistent of a 300,000 horsepower 6-motor SD40 with the 4-motor GPW40 GP40 locomotives by the increasing trailing ton for the comparison with the columns 4 and 7 reveals the relationship between the horsepower per trailing ton and gallons per thousand gross ton miles. As the horsepower per ton is loaded with the speed is reduced, the gallons for the tons gross per million diminishes. All cases of the SD40 and GP40 units are all full throttle in addition with the tonnage account for the speed reduction. For example, a 5,000-ton pole 3 SD40 with a rated with 1.80 horsepower a ton, the consist will consume with 1.75 gallons of the million gross tons, 9.0 gallons of the mile. With the same train pole with the two SD40s rated at 1.2 horsepower tons will assume 1.43 gallons of million gross tons, 715 gallons per mile. If this 5,000 ton is pulled with a single SD40 rated with 6/10 of horsepower ton, it will consume the 1.04 gallons per million gross ton or 5.2 gallons per mile. This represents a full reduction of 1.85 to 3.80 gallons miles as number of the units of reduced speed reduced to 58 miles an hour to 47 to 33 miles an hour. The same relationship prevailed with the GP40 locomotive of the table B with another way illustrates reduction of the number of the locomotive units shown with the table CD with both compared to the over the operational locomotives pulling 50,000 ton tooling ton train. This is theoretically 100 miles over level of the track. The table C showed to the left how much fuel is saved with the SD40 locomotive speeds reduced to 60 miles an hour, actually 58 miles an hour balancing speed. Successfully lower speeds. Note that the reduction of 47 miles an hour would be approximately 110 gallons of fuel, reducing the throttle position to 67 would have them jockeyed to maintain 47 miles an hour. The right of the portion of the table C indicates the two units of the SD40 would maintain 47 miles an hour. Throttle 8 with the 5,000 ton train with a consistent save 148 gallons or 38 gallons in the 100 miles compared with the 3 unit with the trailing operating lower throttle position. The savings in expense time and loss with 25 minutes running of the sub for both new and 3 units consists of the 3 unit locomotives that have running time of 1 hour and 43 minutes at 58 miles an hour. The same relationship exists with the GP4 locomotive consists of table G with the 2 units are placed in the 3 rolling grade tonnage rates must not exceed. See table on the next page. Alright, table A shows the SG locomotives on level tangent track, GP locomotives on level tangent track, and table C SG40 locomotives on the tangent track, and table G locomotives on level tangent track. Alright, this is a permissible tonnage, shows the root horsepower towards tons units over horsepower tons rate, maximum tonnage rating of the GP36 and SD40 and GP40 on their different routes. Alright, this shows the Central Region Columbus to Pitcairn 1.7 TV for the right of Pitcairn, Harrisburg, 1.5 horsepower, 2.5 HP to Conway to Enola, Chicago to Conway, overall Binghamton, Pitt Mall to Columbus, Conway to Chicago, Binghamton to Orville. And you have a map of Allegheny Division Central Region. Then other roads around Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Division. Another Conrail map around Youngstown Division. Summary selected freight train performance. Don't really know what that is. Shows the symbol point, passing point time, actual passing point time. These are all the Conrail lines, summary and mail van trains. And then it goes on to the all the different connections. Alright, derailment investigation checklist. Action at first note of the derailment. Obtainment of the information of the train, where the train name and number, the direction of travel, track number, and number of the car, the number of locomotive train consists of the derail, whether the sky condition, visible ground cover, the temperature, humidity within direction, wind, velocity, designated accident, investigator ensure with all the required equipment available, the insight order with no time and waste at the beginning with the investigation, arrange for the train crew intervals, require waybill information. Action upon arrival at the scene. The sketch of the photograph position with all the cars component to develop the preliminary theory of the cause of the scene investigation priorities. Determine the point of the derailment. Examine the following marks of the rail. Short marks perpendicular with the ball of the rail. Long marks with the ball of the rail. Mark with the regular interval with the one of the tail rail. Embraces mark with the turnouts. Wheel marks both rails. No marks on the rail. Distributed with the track base. Unexplained marks with the rail and the track. The transportation department. Conduct the crew interview with as soon as possible for the such for the derailment. Interview with the crew members separately. responsibility to develop the following: position with the engine and caboose for the train handling, receive of the train order message, check the personal records. Also, maintenance of the way of the department, investigate the track structure for the geometry, rail weight section, date roll of the date of the lay, and the type of the steel, with whether the control, the cold, curve worn, battle joint with the flattened head, with the rust of the truck base, and the old or new brake of the track fastening, joint bar spikes, anchors, joint location, track structure, tie, ballast, and subgrade, turnout number, the turnout type of the lock with the switch bike, guardrail with the flange way, track gauge with the self-guarded frog, switch stand, frog components, track geometry, and track alignment with the characteristic spiral line, surface the cross elevation rate, rated change for the cross of elevation, vertical profile, twist, and the wide gauge, mechanical department. Inspect the minimum of the first car over the derail cars immediately with the preceding the following first cars with all locomotive units, wheels, lugs broken, cracked out with the round flange, defective wear or tread gauge, axles broken, hub hot or cold cracked or lateral motion, trucks broken, side frame bolster, springs, anchor, the place with the center pin, snubber, the braking, rigging, car body, load empties, light and center capacity center with the gravity gate built in the truck center, spacing the center plate with a coupler, shifting load of missing components for the side bearings, angle lots, inspections of the IDT interchange yard inspections, locomotive unit number to the position consisting of the long, short hood and loading of the special speed tapes, the speedometer, inspection of operative equipment, the brake feed, valve, the couplers, bolsters, angle, axle bodies, boxes, angle, cocks, multiple unit connections, date of last inspection. Alright, organization. Be careful of the complexity of the derailment situation. No single organization plan would be effective for all the railroads, and all incidents viable investigation organization must exercise the good judgment of the performance of these duties for the taken into consideration, special condition for the environmental constraint for the consideration, including experience, specialty, availability with the person, severity with the technical aspects associated with the derailment. Their subject for the however this should be incorporated with the design, organizational plan, investigation, major explained derailments that include flexibility and depth of plan should be adequate with the handrail. The range of the simple with the most complex, it should be anticipated the need for the designation, special function for the personnel, such as photographs, hazardous material experts, and so forth. Responsibility investigation personnel should have the responsibility solely for the investigation, should not respond for the cleanup operation during the course of the investigation. Several derailment investigation management organization techniques have successfully functioned within the industry. The two ideas meeting with the organization channels are presented below. The standing committee system of the division system. One technique utilized with the organization standing with the committee with the prepared to go onto the accidents upon short notice, usually compared with the representative of the maintenance of the way, mechanical transportation department, specialists in other pertinent areas designated with the assignment is required. Italian team utilization system personnel with the major derailment. Similar team may designate the division management of local minor derailments. The internal division territory use of personnel. The concept of recognizing that sufficient personnel may not be available at the division level to perform the derailment cleanup operation investigated due to the simultaneously the problem may be resolved by the establishing standard operational plan with the personnel and the may be borrowed with the neighboring division as needed. With the basis personnel alone with the may be assigned specialized tasks such as photography with the general investigation purpose of the use of the cleanup operation, freeing local and personnel to perform investigation tasks. These are the approach to assemble the major source of the information that will usually provide with numerous clues with the cause of the derailment in a relatively short period of time. They are the train crew statements and marks found about the point of the derailment and the imperative of the high property for the assigned with the early collection of the information with the both sources. Your initial train crew interview with the train crew involved with the accident should be interviewed as soon as possible after the incident. Many times this can be accomplished by the phone dispatcher offices during the early phase of the following accidents. However, the recommended that the phone interviews follow up with the person interview with the rest of the internal crew. Interviews should be directed towards developing the internal relationship of the track train, dynamic track profile, train handling, and is emphasized for the goal of the interview is to gather information, not to determine the responsibility. If no obvious starting point presents itself with the interview, with the effective approach to develop, explore with the interrelationship with the track train dynamic, the train handling, but based on the profile of the territory involved with the following paragraph, the hypothetical derailment situation and presented with the illustration. This approach to the situation are not to be taken in all inclusive with a list of the possible profile concurrence with the suggested order of the curves and question development. Case 1 profile, the derailment point with the bottom of the grade with the train running over the grade with the question development, what is light and heavy brake application for the control speed with what is the initial speed, the time of the greater than the maximum authorized, what train tons are there evenly distributed throughout the train and concentrated blocks, what were the single indications. Case 2, the profile derailment point of the flattened level to track the question development and malfunction of locomotive noted the different did the train set with the pickup of the cars in the last 20 miles when the braking requirements become the temporarily slow ordered bridge interlocking point plant or village with a permanent speed with the restriction. Case 3, profile of the derailment point with the extending of the grade with the train moving up the grade. Question, what was the grade long enough to the length of the train was it in stretch condition? What was the derailment point with near the top of the bottom of the grade? Is there a descending grade proceeding with the ascending grade with the profile chart? Did the train run off at the descending grade before starting over the ascending grade? What was the grade on the derailment? A curve, the determination of the point of the derailment. In most cases, the point of the derailment it can be determined by the location of the marks of the ball of the rail or other track structure components on both. In addition, individual marks and marker patterns may be found on the rail track structure proceeding with the point of the derailment. Probable cause of the interpretation of the various marks commonly found with the track structure of the point of derailment are discussed below. Alright, one shows the short perpendicular ball of the rail. The possible cause of these marks usually caused by the flange of the wheel, force off the rail, the short of the mark with the indication that force with the cause of the derailment where surface enough to suddenly force the wheel over the rail with a short distance following the mark of evidence usually found indicating spots where the car wheel contact with the ground. Evidence would include the distributed ballast, mark ties, tie plates, rail anchors, joint bars, and marks on the ground and the crossing of the set-offs. The factors that may be contributed to the derailment of the nature include sudden load lift, improper load of the car, excessive speed around the curves, harmonic rolling initiated with the low joint, the crossing level, the irregularity, small action induced by the possible train handling error, broken wheels, components failures, broken springs, cracks, side frames, broken bolts, etc. It should be noted that these factors can work in combination with one another. Alright, 2. You see the long marks on the ball of the rail, possible cause by making the nature of the found, the enough for the re-railing force for the power enough to overcome the normal tracking ability of the car. Yet not sufficient to cover the sudden derailment in situation. Flange climbs of the rail, the rise of the ball, usually slips off the field side of the ball. Flange marks up to the 40 feet of the length are not common in this case, but where the car connected with the ground will indicate the disturbance of the ballast in the track of the base structure. Such derailments have caused the irregularity of cross elevation, irregularity of the track alignment, the wide gauge, improper train handling, except for 3 lateral with the trucks, sharp flange, shifted loads, losses of the truck strings, and slack action, binding of the truck slewing action. 3 marks occurring with regular intervals on the rail. Okay, possible cause, such marks would easily caused with the broken wheel with each of the revolution of the wheel with the sharp edge of the brake next to the rail. The next marks can appear with the top of the side of the ball. Alright, this shows another picture. For rail abrasion, this is the rail abrasion type of the mark with usually covered the wheel with not gripping with the rail with riding, what is riding. Probable cause, sticking the brakes, the flat wheel, power wheel slip, cause the locomotive frozen power or idlers on the wheels of the locomotive. Also, they show the marks on the turnout. Possible cause, if the turnout is involved with the derailment, it would usually be found with the area of the switch of the point of the guardrail with the intermediate of the question, the rise of the wheel defects, and the turnout of the mechanical transportation factors contributed to the cause of the accident. Through the incident of the car with the turnout area required particular attention should be given to the truck wheel flange of the car and switch point with the rail gauge and flange ways of the frog of the turnout. Possibility of a combination cause of the considered such as 1. Sharp flange with the worn switch point, the harmonic rock, the worn battered frog, or 3. The train movement with previously run through the switch. Alright, wheel marks inside of both rails. The major factors that consider the situation are loose wheels of the wheels or wide gauge. 7. No marks for the rail distributed to track base. Possible cause of the situation usually indicates the lift-off of the major. The cause of the lift-off on a high buff forces action, harmonic roll, squeeze action, lift-off, curves of the car squeeze between the preceding following for the car sufficient vertical, horizontal factor, forces of the wheel climb the rail. 1 more following factors can be involved. Slack action, reaction, train braking, light and long car, steep, ascending and descending grades. Alright, harmonic rocking occurred with the rail joints coastally approximate with the truck side with the vehicle with the speed with the synchronize the natural rolling frequency with the equipment. The general guide with the can roll must be experienced with a 50-60 foot load for cars with traveling at a speed of approximately 15 miles per hour over the jointed rail. However, this condition should not be assumed as the rule of the curve of the faulty switch of the train action must be involved with the harmonic rock of the roll is suspected derailment. The following items should be investigated. Critical speed general 12 to 15 25 miles an hour. Load joints causing irregularity across the level of the truck center 33 to 57 feet over the 70 feet. Number of the consecutive load joints like with the rail center of the gravity 84 inches over the faulty miscellaneous numbers of side bearing clearance. 8. Miscellaneous for the explained marks on one or both rails or base structure. Possible cause: not usually defined marks on the barrel with the rail structure that don't appear to fit with the developing theory for the circumstance. They are a number of the possible cause of 3 marks, any of each of which would have proper or major impact with investigation findings. Some of the possible areas are vandalism, dragging equipment, marks made with the proper prior to the train maintenance work equipment, unintentional outside interference. For example, the construction equipment non railroad related working if it's any of the track accidentally striking with the track structure. Alright, reporting derailment, sideswipes, etc. As soon as possible, but no later than 48 hours after the derailment, it should be the responsibility of the general foreman and such for the territory to derailment occurred with the telephone AAR Service Bureau with the Altoona, Pennsylvania telephone smart extension smart number to 84222541 and furnished with the following information: date, time, accident, train symbol, the engine number, the name, the place of the incident, car if known, car initial number, load of the MC car, the type of the foreign and lot of the class of the identified with the system car, light weight built with the date built, rebuilt, and estimated damage of the dollars, recommended disposition, repair, release, home on wheels, loaded up and settle. Above information for the furnishes as soon as possible, but not later than 48 hours after the incident. Must be understood that the initial report, original report, consisting of the following must be prepared for each car sent to the AR Service Department, room 214, GLB, Junta, Altoona, Pennsylvania. MP 200 damage report, MP 341 disposition report, MP 44 joint inspection certificate, MD 4 TTX report damage of the car involved with the wreckage of the 5 of the pictorial diagram of the tanker car. If applicable, the car bearings, Consolidated Railway Corporation markings must be checked, listed in lease insurance with car for the applicable. The MP 24 complete with the car for the concluding the railway must be completed with the following completed with the forward to the manager car's classification, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, for page 1 and 2. Or continue page 2 of 2. The number of the cars sold out without the clearance for the AR Service Department with the high price for the freight cars, extreme carbon must be determined the following: depreciated value of the car, cost of the repair, disposition from the car, home on the wheels, prepared with the release for the home, load on the destroy, load up or destroy, preventing of additional damage of the re-railing car. The program have developed the properly identified protection for the disposition empty bad car for moving to the home shop with their own wheels. This will greatly reduce the need for the general foreman in the yard, but the clerks will physically have the hand carry the waybill information back and forth, the forwarding service to the AR Service Department in Altoona. All car for the disposition has been requested through the AR Service to Altoona, but 3A must be shown the AD 1909 freight car shop control report and the 2 columns of the disposition release. OK setback for the AD 1909 will be notified the yard clearers as to the status for the car per requirement of the FRA 0249 regulations governing the movement of the bad orders. The upper half of the space for the disposition column will show the defects in one or 2 word disposition description of the door as door draft sill, side sheet, the hitches, or B deck, etc. When the car has the okayed for the release from the shop of the yard trailer to the terminal of the 062. Must be shown within the OK SB column of the car. Not okay to move to show the SB. The pink copy of the AD 1909 must be forwarded properly to the yard office before the cards are pulled. If there is any question, call the Altoona 8422-2638. Attention, GM Canab. Alright, Damage Prevention Department. The Damage Prevention Department function performed with the cooperation with the Transportation Mechanical Department to ensure the safety, efficiency, delivery of the commodities. 1 is for the open top of the closed car loadings. 2, this is for the establishing violation when the safety is involved with the EG, with the derailments, unusual circumstances, etc. 3, when the assistance is in need with the new recommendation, transfer the aid. And A, securing special empty. B, the engaging outside contractor. 3C, ensuring transfer loads complying with all the Association of American Railroad load regulations. Determine the cost of the loading for the cost savings ratio, but can be established a decision necessary as to whether or not the transfer will be economically feasible. Preventing the damage during the actual transfer operation, including the damage free with the delivery of the transfer goods. 4, system recover the material involved with the unusual occurrence of the fall-off, etc. Arrange for the outer term request for the traffic, the problem, shipping and sending the wire for the protection of the high value with the vulnerability, shipping them out with the initial prevention activity to travel, having the repetitive damage problems such as effective excessive shopping with the shifted load of the bulging doors, etc. 8, assist in developing loading configuration, car type with the requirements for the new business shipment and damage prevention policy with the conduct regular ship track with the survey for the establishing proper repair of the transfer lading with adjustments for the handling the unidentified landing with the shop form. It should notify the damage prevention in the event of any of the problems developing in these cases of areas when warranted. Damage prevention personnel can take the corrective measure for the original carrier to prevent recurrence in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, January 16, 1980. Alright, if you experience difficulty, check the following items before you receive service. Review the steps of the basic operation procedures. 2. Open multiple frequent modules to become a selector switch with the set with the correct channel. If you have the private line model but cannot be received the fringe area, check with the squelch control setting. They must be set with a three threshold position described with the basic operation instruction. If operating poor with the current, check with the antenna, but there must be a damage for the operator's vertical position with the maximum range of the collapsible antenna that must be fully extended. All collapsible antennas provide better with operation than helical antennas in fringe areas. 5. Try several different operational locations. 6. Transmitter check. You transmit another portable radio the communication receiver. The receiver the single strength of the S meter. The comparison readings can be made against another portable radio. 7. Recheck the operation procedure. Safety information. United States Department of Labor, the provision of the Occupational Safety Health Act of 1970, or OSHA, is established for the electromagnetic energy safety standard, which applied to the equipment and proper use of the radio will result in exposure below the OSHA limit. Do not hold the radio such that the antenna is close to the body, touching the exposed parts of the body, especially with the face and eyes. The transmitting with the radio perform best with the microphone 2 or 3 inches away from the lips of the radio is vertical. Do not hold the transmitter or PTT switch when actually desiring to transmit. Do not allow children to play with any of the radio equipment considered with the transmitter. Do not to operate with the portable transmitter near the unshielded electrical blasting cap and expensively explosive atmosphere unless it is typical, especially qualified for such use. Controls and switches. Volume control, the turn off the radio, off the adjust of the receiver of the volume. Wells control mutes the background noise of the reduce the unwanted signals. PTT or push to talk switch. Press the talk V with the transmitter receiver the operative only when received. Frequency selector switch. Select the operating channel. Cycle switch 2-channel radio with the rotary with the 3 and 2, 6 to 8 channels. The PL disable switch. The private line model with the receiver the operator for the proper private line signal. Mute position or position response on the on channel with the voice position. Accessory connector with the normally used attached with the external speaker microphone presents only a universal BBU unit. Antenna. Fixed antenna is normally supplied with the optional collapsible type that must be extended before operation. 190 is blank. This shows the dates of 1980, the calendar of 1980, which is irrelevant now. 92 is blank. This is their smart, save money, and rail and railroad times. Name, area code, telephone number, frequent call numbers. You have your emergency contacts bureau, explosive personnel, CL Hines, super senior supervisor, Kevin Trox, toll free and disease control center. Also more smart telephone numbers. It's a blank page for you to fill out. Notes on blank, and also that concludes the notes on the last page. Thank you for listening to this has been the book, Conrail the book, the car inspection and repair general information.